In 1927, despite a great deal of scepticism, little money and even less publicity, the legendary Joe Davis organised the first Snooker World Championship. 10 players entered, with half of their entry fee going towards the purchase of this trophy. It was Joe who won that first championship, and with it, the sum of £6, 10 shillings. 78 years on, the trophy remains the same, but the world of snooker has changed beyond recognition.
No.
£7.8 million TV viewers in the UK watched as Shaun Murphy beat Matthew Stevens to become the 2005 World Snooker Champion. His share of the £1.1 million total prize money on offer, £250,000. Even the visionary Joe Davis would have had difficulty in believing how far his beloved game had come. Joe himself had won the title every year until 1946. His brother Fred continued the Davis domination, but the championship soon faced decline. There was a split in the sport in 1952 and 2 tournaments were held. From 58 to 63 there was no championship at all. In 1964 it was revived on an irregular challenge basis, and only in 1969 did it revert to a knockout format. But it was the 1970s that were to mark the start of the modern game of snooker as we know it today. In 1976, the World Snooker Championship was completed in Wythenshawe, Manchester, with Joe Davis in attendance. Ray Reardon of Wales won his 4th consecutive title, his 5th in total, beating Northern Ireland's Alex Higgins in the final. But most importantly, this was the year that the championship found a lucrative sponsor in Embassy. The partnership was to last for 30 years and would establish the World Championship as a premier fixture on the sporting calendar.
And he's missed it. Now, what's he doing?
He has conceded. What an extraordinary situation for young Higgins. Alex Hurricane Higgins has conceded not only that frame, but he has conceded the match.
When Embassy came in with a firm situation that they were going to continue, we were surprised it went as long as it did. They were well organised and they put everything into it, and they were very warm and welcome. It was wonderful.
We wanted the Embassy brand to be associated with sports which were played by individuals rather than teams, and so, for example, it was part of a programme of sponsorships which, as you may recall, included, well, angling, which was never a television sport but was enjoyed by about 1 million participants, but perhaps more famously for World Bowls and World Darts. But World Snooker was clearly the most important, if you like, the flagship sponsorship. And in every case, we were able to become the title sponsor of a World Championship, and I think through our sponsorship, not just of the event that we tend to see on television, but at the grassroots of the game, because of the money that we were able to provide to the sporting bodies, to actually encourage the growth of the game, to encourage more participants to play, for standards to rise. And as a consequence, yes, I do think we've been a major force for good, if you like, in creating the modern game of snooker that we see today.
1977 proved to be another landmark year for the championship. The wife of the event's promoter suggested it be held at Sheffield's Crucible Theatre. Snooker and the Crucible proved to be another match made in heaven. The intimate atmosphere generated by this small theatre in the round could have been tailor-made for the game, and the championship has remained at its own theatre of dreams ever since. The honour of being crowned first Crucible champion went to England's John Spencer, who defeated Canada's Cliff Thorburn in the final.
And in fact, Cliff Thorburn has conceded. John Spencer takes the world crown for the third time.
Spencer was lucky to have been appearing at the event at all.
I was coming home from North Wales, fell asleep in the car and wrong side of the dual carriageway and got hit with a 20-ton lorry. So I was rather fortunate, you know, never got a scratch. But the queue was broken into 4 pieces.
With a fixed home, increased funds and improving standards, in 1978 the BBC was persuaded that snooker could attract massive audiences, and they decided to introduce daily coverage. Such was the response, 5 million viewers for a midnight highlights programme, that schedules were cleared for live coverage of the final, in which Ray Reardon comfortably defeated South Africa's Perry Mans, his 6th world title in 8 years.
He's now just 2 points behind. Requires both pink and black.
28.
As well as highlighting their talent on the bays, the blanket coverage was beginning to turn the players into household names and entertainers.
It made personalities, celebrities out of personalities, or whichever way. And wherever you went, you became instantly recognisable. They introduced things that happened or what went wrong, what was right. And the first time I saw it, I thought, I want to be in that. That's how I looked at it. And the following year, when they do it again, I thought, what would I have to do to get in it, you know, to make sure that I got in it? When I came here yesterday morning at 11 o'clock when Eddie thrashed me 6-1, I felt fantastic. I did, honestly, I felt super. I felt fit as a flea. And what happened? He did me 6-1. Couldn't complain against that. He played super snooker. So last night, about 8 double gin and tonics. In bed at 3 o'clock this morning. Tired today, played marvellous.
In 1979, the new mass TV audience was enthralled by the exploits of Terry Griffiths from Wales.
Terry Griffiths defeats the Australian champion to go through into the Embassy final at his first attempt.
I'm in the final now, you know. Terry Griffiths.
The former postman and bus driver had only hoped to qualify for the Crucible stages of the event. In the final, however, he defeated Northern Ireland's Dennis Taylor 24-16, winning 12 of the last 14 frames. It was a victory that was to usher in levels of play never before seen in the game.
There's just no stopping Terry Griffiths. And so the last red disappears. a deep screw with a lot of side, but it's not